How's it going?
Hey, good. How are you? Can you hear me?
I can hear you perfectly.
All right,
Can you
perfect.
hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. I'm using the cans for this. Usually, I let the speakers on the phone do the work, but I thought maybe I can improve the quality
Holy
if I've
smokes.
got these cans on.
Hasn't been 2 minutes and there's people already rolling in.
Oh my God, look at that. That's
Oh my
crazy.
God. Isn't that crazy?
It's
Hasn't even been 2 minutes.
I can't honestly. It's so surreal that people want to listen, uh, because I think I'm so boring and I don't understand. But it's cool. Like I love it. It's the fans are great, and people are taking an interest in the stuff that I want to say, and I find that really I'm very humbled by that. So
For sure.
here we are.
Very, very quickly, my friend Rosa Navis is watching right now. Can you say hi to Rosa and Appa and how Appa would say it, please? To Rosa?
Who? Who is your
Ro
Roja? Roja who?
Rosa Navis.
Roja Nabis. Huh? Okay.
Rosa
Roja,
Navis.
Roja Nabi, Roja? Rosa. All right. Yeah. Rosa Nabis. Yeah. Hi. How you doing?
Oh man, she's gonna. She's laughing. But it's really cool that we're able to do things like this, the interaction, especially on such a big day. I mean, people can watch some more Kim's Convenience on
Yeah, there
Netflix.
you go. It just dropped worldwide, apparently. Like we knew it was going to be dropping in the States for sure. But the question we always get, always from our fans is, when is it being dropped in the rest of the world? When is it going to be dropped, in the Philippines, in the UK, in Korea, in Australia? And a lot of times we don't know. The Netflix is their own entity. They don't let us know generally when they're going to be dropping stuff. We know it's
Yeah,
usually after we have our run in Canada.
yeah.
And usually if they follow a pattern, like the last couple of seasons, it's been the day after we've dropped our last episode. Boom.
And how cool are comments like this, Paul? Like, hi from Texas. We just finished season 4 on Netflix. Like,
Wow,
but think
already.
about. I mean, we're Canadian, but we're also like we're Canadian,
Yeah.
and we're not used to our stuff being available worldwide.
Yeah. Yeah, that's trippy. I mean, my socials have exploded, and I just sort of handle it myself. So I try to respond to everybody, but it's more than a full-time job, and I'm old and slow, and my thumbs are fat, and my eyes are bad, and sometimes the internet acts up, and but I'm slowly trying to wade through everybody who's reached out with Instagram and Twitter, and it's really overwhelming to see that kind of support, especially from all over the world.
Something I wanted to talk to you about that we haven't, because I think it was like a year ago you came on my podcast,
Yep.
or yeah, it was a year ago. It was a good time. It's funny, you had a Sandlot shirt on. I still think about that all the time.
Yeah.
I'm interviewing a few of those guys on Instagram Live this
Oh,
week too.
cool.
Yeah, so we're gonna
Excellent.
do that. It
Excellent.
sucks like that we can't do like panels on Instagram Live, eh?
Yeah, you know what? It's so funny. If you have stock in Zoom, it's through the roof. And
Yeah.
it's funny because my wife is a sign language interpreter for the deaf and hard of hearing. She usually interprets for me whenever we do an IG live, but I've been
Yes.
working her really hard lately. We've been doing a lot of things, and it's usually when sign language interpreters work in teams, and they spell each other off because it's very physically taxing, mentally and physically to have to interpret for hearing people to the members of the deaf and hard of hearing community, and but she's been doing it all on her own, and with multiple speakers for longer periods than she's used to. So she's, like I burned her out basically. So we kind of thought we'd give her a little bit of a break this time. But
Yeah, because I saw you did one with Tanner Zipchin,
That's right, that's right,
and
and
yeah,
that went over an hour, right? So it was just like I felt really bad afterwards, and she said, I'm just going to lie down and start to
I
twitch a
mean,
little bit because she was so wired after that.
I shouldn't be surprised because he probably has met a lot of cool people, especially with his Cineplex interviews. But he's been interviewing some really cool guests.
Yeah, he's made a lot. I mean, Tanner's a cool guy, right? And he made a lot of friends, and he's got a great heart. He's got a good personality. He's super awesome, and it's fun to talk with him. So it doesn't surprise me at all that he's made all these fantastic contacts with all these great people.
Oh no, for sure. So questions are probably going to start rolling in right now, and it's cool because a lot of people are are still like they're watching. They've already watched it. Like season 4, it's been crazy. It hasn't even been. It's nuts.
I know that's a
Tanner's watching.
Is he? There
right
he is.
now.
There he is. Yay! Wasn't it? It was over an hour.
Tanner, I actually sent you a message. I'm a big fan of your streams. You did one with Body Break, which was like the coolest thing ever. It was the most Canadian thing.
Oh, Hal Johnson. Yeah.
It was so cool. No, I'm a big fan. Oh, my friend Ryan Spooner, professional hockey player, saying hi.
Oh, right on.
He played for the Boston Bruins.
Boo! I mean, sorry.
Played for the Canucks. He played for the Canucks and the Oilers, too.
Yeah, okay. I miss sports.
I miss sports, too.
Honestly, it's one of these things where in our house, it was first thing I get up and I turn on Sportsnet or Sports Center. Like I'd flip between the two, have them on repeat, and I would watch highlights. And that was part of my routine in the mornings, like listening to sports. And then, in the evening too, there's always a game on our television, whether it's the Leafs playing or the Jays or the Raptors. And it's amazing how I don't like watching replayed games. Like I knew how there's no stakes in it for me, so I'm kind of okay. But it's amazing how much of that part of my life is now gone. It's on hold right now, and it's very, very interesting because it's like I have all this free time in the evening. What am I supposed to do? So I've been building props in the basement.
Really?
So, yeah, I've just been geeking out. I got a 3D printer, and I've been printing out a lot of I'm working on right now. A spaceship from Space 1999, the Eagle transport vessel. So I'm printing that out right now. And so, yeah,
you're very diverse in your interests too. Like you like the pop culture. You also like the sports. You're very well rounded in terms of interests.
Yeah, I'd like to think so. I mean, it's being multidimensional is a great thing,
Yeah.
And it's great to be able to explode those myths about people who are geeks. They don't like sports, or people who like sports. It's like they don't like geeky things. I think, as a kid of the '80s, I had a lot of different interests that sort of crossed over. I wasn't a great athlete, but I still liked watching sports and stuff. So, it's just a way to enjoy myself.
You know what else you like enjoying? You like going on and giving me and myself and Patrick Gallagher a hard time on Instagram. Okay.
You guys, honestly, how could you not figure out what DT stood for?
I'm sorry.
And then when I spelled it out to you guys were like, what? No, don't say his name. Like, I was a fan of his. And then suddenly the penny dropped and I had to type in another message saying, no, DT, whom somebody else wrote in, stood for Donald Trump. And then you both went, oh, and so I'm sorry. You guys fully deserve the dumbass monikers that I nailed on the two of you. Come on.
That was, I have to tell you, I've done a lot of these Instagram lives, and I can say that was probably one of the best Instagram live moments I've ever had. He's like, I don't want to come on your show anymore.
I love Patty.
He's awesome. It's funny because a lot of my guests, I'll do my episode, and then it's like, oh, thanks for doing that. I appreciate it, right? And then you chat for a little bit, and then it's done, right?
Right.
Pat, it was like we did the episode for half an hour, and then we chatted and shot the breeze for another 45 minutes.
Oh yeah. That's awesome. And that's it.
Me and you me and you shot the breeze a little bit afterwards too. It wasn't just ended right away.
No. I mean, that's the thing. If you're having a great conversation, you want to continue that on, whether it's being recorded or not. And Patty, he's great. He's got the gift of gab, and all the stuff that he says is really always very informed, very interested. He's got some great, strong opinions about stuff, so it's good to bug him about that too. But that's Patrick Gallagher in a nutshell, and I'm proud to say I know him, and I've been friends with him now for, oh my God, I've known him almost as long as I've known Gene Yoon, which is over 25 years, right? So that's amazing.
You know what also is amazing? We have one of your co-stars, Simu Liu, Shang-Chi, man. That is, when that news broke out, I was so happy.
Yeah.
What was the reaction from the cast and crew? What were you guys saying?
Well, we didn't even know. I didn't know he had even been auditioning for it. That's how quiet he left it. But not only that, there's this, if you watch Kim's, there's separate worlds, right? There's a store, there's a church, there's handy car rental, there's Janet's apartment. And then in these worlds, they sort of, when we shoot, we block shoot. So we shoot all this stuff in the store at once, and they shoot all the handy stuff. So especially in the later seasons, we don't get as much crossover. Season 1, we used to see each other all the time, but now it's like if Simu's not in a scene at the store, I don't see him. I don't see Andrew Fung. I don't see Nicole Power. I see less and less of Andrea because she's got her own world. So I had no idea what was going on in his life. I had no idea he was doing that. He gave me a call, and I was at home, and he said, he texted me, said, can you call me back? Called him back, and he dropped the news, and I was just like, what? That's fantastic. And it happened so fast, apparently. Like he did his final sort of chemistry read on like I think a Saturday or a Sunday. He found out, and then like 5 days later, they flew him out to San Diego for Comic-Con, and they announced him as Shang-Chi. So that's a whirlwind. That'll send your head spinning. Sorry, I just stepped on my dog.
No. The cool thing too is, every cast and crew, obviously, a lot of people say this, you're a family, but I've talked to some people that have said, some of the casts they've been on, compared to other crews, have been more of a family than others. And it looks like the Kim's Convenience family is a really big family. Like, it seems like you guys just hit it off.
Yeah. I mean, and I think that speaks to, the personalities, the character of everybody who was cast. It also sort of was born from the fact that we were doing a show that was unlike any other show that had ever been sort of created up until that point. And I know for me, one of the big drives was, this is special. We don't know how long it's going to last. So while we're doing this, let's be as awesome to each other and to everyone else as we can, because, this could last a season. It could last 2 seasons. We just announced that we've been renewed for 2 more seasons. So it's been confirmed by CBC. We're going for season 5 and season 6.
That's amazing.
Yeah, thank you. And so who'd have thunk it? I mean, we hit 52 episodes. Season 4 has just been dropped. 52 episodes of a television show. Are you kidding me? If you told me at the beginning that it would make it this far, I don't know. I wouldn't have believed you, but it's dreams do come true. So.
I find it just like yesterday when they were showing kind of vignettes and teasers for like the first episode where it just showed you like there's no dialogue. It just showed you at the store. You know what I mean? And then just like Kim's Convenience, like that felt like it was just yesterday. It's crazy to see the transition of the show.
Yeah, and it's amazing too because the level of support we've gotten from the CBC has been phenomenal. I mean, when we premiered back in 2016, they threw everything they had at sort of promoting the show, and it was during the Rio Olympics, I remember. And I'd never seen an ad campaign like that before from our public broadcaster. So
that's what it was, the Rio, yes, okay, yeah.
Yeah, and so they put all their might behind like that PR department, and they spared no expense. And like we felt like rock stars, like our faces were on like the sides of buses and in TTC shelters. They turned Yonge and Bloor, the main subway hub in Toronto, and they just plastered it with all Kim's Convenience. I've got pictures of it, and I still look back at it in disbelief. And so we're very grateful for CBC for having the faith in us. And I'd like to think that we've sort of delivered on the promise of, the potential of the show sort of exceeding everyone's expectations. Again, Thunderbird Productions as well. They're the production company behind us, and they've spared no expense. Yvonne Fetson, Alex Raffi, they've been tremendous leaders for the show. And we wouldn't be nearly as far as we are without all that kind of support. And, again, everybody who's working on the show, Kevin White, the Instroy, the co-creators, co-showrunners, the fantastic writing staff. I mean, it's our cup runneth over, really. So, just gratitude, lots of gratitude.
It's amazing. We got to get to some questions here because people are rocking over here.
Okay.
This is a really cool question. This one caught my eye. Like you were talking about certain things. This one really caught my eye, Paul. I noticed the flags on the shelf in the store change each episode.
Right.
Can you please tell me what that is about?
That is, we have a fantastic art department, basically. And they're our production designer. We had 2. It was John Donderman at the beginning, and it's Ian. Oh, my God, what's his last name? He took over in season 3 onwards. I know him as Ian. He's awesome. And our art department is fantastic. And what they do is they do the set dressing. They pick out all the things that come on. And that's part of the production design. is to have those flags. And it's one of these things that I remember when we were on tour with the stage play, we had, the flags of the world up there. And I don't touch them. It's something that I haven't noticed. I know when we were doing the play, I would always move the Korean flag and the Canadian flag and put them at the front. But I guess if the art department has, I mean, everything is there for a reason. And so if certain flags are highlighted, it's just, they've got to stay consistent for the episode, but it's the art department's decision as to what gets displayed. So I wish I could tell you more about that. It probably is a very well thought out, very smart plan, a little sort of shout out, cultural shout out, as it were. But I couldn't tell you for certain without asking anybody in the art department.
For sure. Has COVID delayed filming future episodes of Kim Convenience?
Yeah, it's right now it's delayed everything. Like COVID-19, I mean, unless you're considered an essential service, you are on hold. And but right now the plan for Kim's Convenience is we're going on as if we're going to be shooting. Planning is still taking place. We should have been in pre-production already, but we've pushed back by a couple of weeks at least. But we're playing it by ear. It's a fluid situation. I know the writers are working right now on scripts. They're chatting via Zoom. Our producers are busy producing, and yeah, so we've got everything ready to go for when we're ready to go.
And I think this is a question for Appa that's just come in here. Are you going to stock lots of water and toilet paper at the convenience store?
Yeah, we always stock. Yeah, I don't know what you're talking. We always have lots of toilet paper, lots of water. It's a convenience store, not an inconvenience store.
So you're gonna be all set. You're gonna have everything.
Yeah, we make order. If we come, it come. If not, what can I do?
And someone actually asked too about that accent. You know what I mean? Because people watch it and see the accent, and they hear you speak in real life, and you don't speak like that.
It's so funny. People get so blown away by it. It's like, what? And it's a great compliment. It is a compliment because they bought it. They got the accent. That's my dad's voice, though. So for people who get upset, that I am employing my dad's voice. It's a modified version of it because if I went full my dad's accent, it'd be even harder to understand Appa. So I've learned over the years to cheat it a little bit. My R's and my V's and my B's, I've softened it because clarity in terms of storytelling takes precedence over authenticity at times. And so we try to keep it as authentic as possible. But there are times where it's like, we need to get this story out. So I'm going to cheat the accent. So I kind of call it Appa speak. And yeah, but I get a kick out of it because people are like, I had no idea you could speak English. And it's like, well, yeah, that's kind of my gig. I'm an actor, right? It's like acting. I don't actually own a convenience store, right?
Someone's actually asking a question though, like, do you have any tips on acting with an accent?
Oh, well, I mean, yeah, if it's not if it's not something that is actually yours that you can own, like in terms of it comes from your heritage, or if you don't come by the accent honestly, then it really is about doing the work and making sure that you stay true to where it sounds like. You don't want to cheat that. You don't want to come from a place to just sort of blur those lines because it's insulting. And that's one of the tricky things about employing an accent. I always sort of find it like when people, it's a fake accent. Well, no, it's not a fake accent. It's an accent, right? It's a fake accent if it's done poorly. And that's a distinction there, right? And so, I remember I was in a production of Chimerica that was at the Manitoba Theatre Centre and in Toronto. And, I had to play somebody who spoke with a Mandarin accent. And, I'm not Chinese. I don't speak Mandarin. But what I had to do is I studied and I worked with a dialect coach and our accent coach nonstop just to make sure that I could remain as authentic and as true to that voice as I could. Because if any less than that, I'm doing it a disservice. And that's the last thing I want to have happen.
Another question came in for Appa. Can Appa get me a date with Andrea Bang?
Who's Andrea? I don't know Andrea. I know Janet. You can't blow a line like that. Make a choice. Huh? You want me to be Paul or Appa? I can't be both. Huh? Okay, but if you want a date with Janet, no.
Oh, man. Oh, I wanted to get to that, actually. because we're all watching a lot of stuff right on TV,
Right.
and what are you watching right now?
On TV,
Or like
nothing.
any
You know what?
shows, any movies?
I collect movies.
Okay.
I'm a huge physical media sort of guy. I used to collect VHS tapes, and then I upgraded to DVD, then I upgraded to Blu-ray, and now I collect 4K movies. And today, in fact, I was so bored, I did an unboxing video.
You did.
I got the Star Wars, the complete Skywalker saga, the box set, and I did an unboxing video for the 4K nerds. And I think with that kind of a library, I've just been slowly going through the movies and catching up with new releases that I haven't had a chance to
Someone
see in
says,
the theaters.
what's a VHS? Fair question.
Yeah. VHS is like Blu-rays for old people. No, it's streaming for old people, except it comes in a case and it's not broadcast.
Hi, Appa. Love from Greece. Greece is in the
Wow,
house.
see?
I'm Greece. I'm Greek. I'm Greek. Isn't this crazy though? I would not this is crazy all over the world.
You know, we were shooting on location in front of the Kim store. It's an actual store, and we use the exterior of the store for outside shots. We never shoot inside, just the outside. And in season 1, you could have murdered somebody while we were shooting, and nobody would have seen it because nobody knew who we were. Excuse me. Season 2, people got a little bit more interested. Season 3, it was like a zoo, trying to film in front of the store because we had crowds. Season 4, we only had a couple of days, and we were there for maybe 4 or 5 hours. And in that time, we had people from France, people from New Jersey. We had a couple of people from, I think, Switzerland. On the same day, just coming to visit the store.
Wow.
Because they watched it in their homelands and wanted to. It was a pilgrimage.
That
blows my mind.
You started something here because now everyone's saying where they're from, and this is insane,
Yes!
Paul. So
Represent.
from Burlington, from Queens, New York, from Phoenix, Arizona, from Minnesota,
Oh
from
my gosh.
Australia, from Montreal, from Havana, Cuba, from West Palm Beach, Florida, Baltimore, Maryland,
Oh my God.
Adelaide, Australia, Melbourne, Australia. This is awesome. Keep them coming. Where's
You
everyone
guys,
from?
this is fantastic.
Vancouver, BC,
See, that's so humbling. It's so
Portland,
humbling.
Oregon,
Oh man. I don't know.
Winnipeg, Manitoba, Edmonton, Alberta, Amsterdam.
Edmonton.
Oh, this
And
is
see,
Amsterdam.
this
Perth.
is outstanding, guys. This is outstanding, and the fact that across these different time
Los
zones.
Angeles, New Zealand. Yeah, but
That's the thing. What time is it in New Zealand? Is it like what, they're 13, 14 hours ahead of us?
Yeah,
So this is incredible.
Kirkland.
Incredible. East York. I saw an East
Wow.
York thing. Somebody from East York. That's my neighborhood. What's it say?
Brazil, Montreal, Switzerland. We're getting this is international.
Sorry, M Campbell 808. Hello from East York. That's my neighborhood, East York, right here. Is Appa a coach at Stan Wadlow? Well, Appa isn't, but I am. And for the last 4 years, I've sponsored a house league team for East York baseball. Very, very proud of that program. My youngest plays there. He's been playing there now. This would have been his 6th season. We're on hold right now, and it's a great baseball program. That's a big shout out for East York because East York represent. There you go.
Norman, Oklahoma.
Wow, Oklahoma. It's
9:20 in the morning in Australia right now.
Outstanding. Well, thank you for getting up and watching this. It's fantastic.
Kirkland, Washington.
That's right. Hey, Scarborough is exciting. Just depends on what time you go to Scarborough. It's a pretty exciting place.
That was a really cool moment, Paul, where everyone's saying where they're from.
No, that's
Awesome.
fantastic. That's fantastic.
San Jose. It's literally
yeah.
this is an international broadcast.
Yanksta 693, glad to see Asians representing and hope we can keep breaking barriers. Absolutely. Thank you so much. That's this. It's become this show has become this crazy sort of cultural phenomenon that has spanned the globe, and it's lovely to sort of be a part of this. When we first started, it was just really nice to have work, and now it's turning into this this little show that could, and that we're showing that, you know, you can have a non-white family carry the narrative and still have it relatable to people everywhere on the planet. So that's really humbling. So thank you so much. Petey, do you speak Greek too?
Mikro. Little bit. That was mikro is little bit. If you're wondering.
I kind of figured that out. I'm not Greek, but I think I figured that one out. All right.
I actually had Miltos Gerolamo, who played Syrio Forel on Game of Thrones.
Oh, wow.
And he started talking in Greek, and it was pretty cool.
Excellent.
Oh man, this is wild. We're going to be wrapping up in a few minutes because I'm going to be going on the Pop Turn of Instagram with Melissa St. Amand from Ozark, which is one of my favorite shows. Have you watched that yet, Ozark?
No, I've heard of it though.
It's good stuff.
That's fantastic.
More comments coming in. But Paul, it's always a pleasure to chat with you.
Yeah,
and
I
will say something right now, and there's a lot of people listening, and you know you're probably going to be like, "Oh, stop." Listen, there's a lot of people in the industry, and I, from experience, could say that you, Paul, are one of the most unbelievable, nice, give back people in the industry I've ever met. I know you laugh, but I want to be serious for a second. You give back, you help out a lot of people that just ask you. You don't have to do any of it. You go out of your way, and I just want to say thank you very, very much.
Oh, you're welcome, man. And you know, that's really, really kind of you to say that, Peter. It's overwhelming for me. All the success came at a very late stage in my career. I mean, I'm in my late 40s, and this is the most success I've ever had. So I think it's been great because it's really taught me, you know, humility and gratitude, and that's and kindness, and that's the things that I really try to preach is perseverance, humility, gratitude, all these things. And to give back whenever you can, give back, because the rewards that you find for yourself, like just personally, are tremendous. And during these times where it's really easy to get down and feel like I'm trapped and kind of go nuts, just know that, you know, you can either spend your time worrying about stuff that you can't control, or you can be positive and try to spread that and help each other out and lift each other up. I truly and honestly believe that's a better way to go for your own mindset. So I highly recommend it for people. Be nice to each other, be kind to each other. But it's still, it's totally normal to feel down sometimes, but just try not to let it consume you.
Because I was starting my podcast years ago, and, you know, you helped me out when you didn't have to at all. You gave me advice, and you went above and beyond for me. And I am forever grateful for that.
Oh, wow.
Like, seriously.
Oh, that's awesome. Thank you so much. Thank you.
I appreciate that. Guys, thank you so much for joining us. This was amazing.
Yeah. You know what? Everybody from around the world, thank you so much. Yeah, maybe we'll do it again.
Oh, absolutely. Bye, Appa.
Okay, see you.
Okay, thanks, everyone. We really appreciate it. Stay safe, and thank you for tuning in from all around the world. We love you all. Thank you.
Bye.
See you, Paul.
See ya.